Hey you. Yeah, you. The person that clicked this video. By looking at you, I could tell you're green. And I don't mean you're mighty sick. I mean you're a rookie. You're new. And you're thirsty to learn more about Bakugan Battle Planet. But you don't know where to look. Well, I don't give handouts. Okay? You know who I am? I'm Queso. I'm Mag. I'm the Magnus of YouTube. I'm the antagonist! But I like the cut of your jib, so here's what I'll do. I can lead a horse to water, but it's your job to make it drink. That way, I can keep my bad boy reputation situated, and you could possibly be a challenge to me. Eventually. It'll be a slow climb, and you got yourself a long way to go before you can compete with me, Buster. Let's get down to business. Let's start with the obvious. The official Bakugan Facebook, Twitter, and the website, of course. Learn them, live them, love them. Real quick note on Facebook. I don't much care for Facebook. I don't care that my cousin is graduating with honor roll. I'm trying to play Bakugan, okay? So do your best and familiarize yourself with Facebook groups. There's a general one for Bakugan, there's a North America one, and then I myself partake in the Arizona one because that's where I'm at. So do your due diligence, and there should be regional ones that match your area, and you can join those groups. They're usually closed groups, so you're gonna need a friend to invite you in. And speaking of friends, I know 2 apps you need to download in order to make some of these friends. We got Twitter and Discord. These apps are mandatory to your Bakugan experience. Discord more so. There is a whole ass community found in these Discords, night and day. They're talking about this game, which is really impressive given that we've only had 2 sets released, and pretty much every single day, hours a day, we always find something new to talk about. Granted, I'm not as perfect as I let on, so I only know the Discords that I myself actually partake in. There are plenty more in any of these subjects that I discussed. There's going to be plenty more. The Twitter, the Facebook groups, obviously the Facebook groups, I went on like 3, and you're not in Arizona, possibly, maybe, but if you are, I myself might be putting up a Discord, but nevertheless, there will be plenty more that I neglect to mention. Please let me know in the comments down below, and we'll make some amenities, alright? There might be more that I didn't mention in the description that aren't in the video. Alright, fair's fair, sick. First things first, this is the Discord that helped me out in a huge way when I got started. I know they're standing with Spin Masters, controversial to say the least, but I stand by them no matter what, because they helped my love for this game blossom into the crippling addiction wallet destroyer that it is today, and that is the Brawler Cafe Discord. I also want to give a big shout out to the staff there, Latherna and Hunter Surge. You made this happen. This is your fault. And just like all the other Discords I'm going to be discussing today, they have separate chats for all your Bakugan needs, but as far as the Brawler Cafe, I mainly dwell in the general chat and the meta index chat. They are always willing to answer any questions that you have regarding deck building strategies, general ruling questions, just what's going on with the community. They just want this game to thrive. We don't want it to die. So any newcomers are completely welcome, and this is definitely, if time hasn't changed a thing, they're going to welcome you in the same way that they welcome me, and look where I am. Maybe not the best argument. Continuing the momentum, we have the competitive BBP server. It pretty much runs just the same, but there's a few key differences. One of them is that there are some Spin Master representatives in there, mainly Ventus Knight. That is a name you have to remember, because he is the main community manager of Bakugan. So he is in there, you can ping him about any ruling questions or, you know, events, anything that's happening that we, for some reason, cannot answer ourselves, because we're pretty well informed. And I'm serious. Feel free to ask him anything, if you have any frets whatsoever. Because, just like us, just as I explained earlier, he doesn't want this game to die. But, unlike us, his job depends on it, so he's probably gonna extend the extra mile there. He's also very funny. Surprisingly funny. You know, usually corporate heads give you this hoopla about just more business terms, and they're very indirect. But Ventus Knight does a pretty good job kind of humanizing the whole experience. He's a good guy, and I hope to have a conversation with him one day. There's also the Bakugan subreddit server. It does make you go through some additional clearance, but it's super easy and it explains the whole thing, so I wouldn't stress about it. However, unlike the other Discords, they don't allow selling or trading in there. So under the selling and trading tab, they have an external server, Cubics, which you are allowed to go in there and sell and trade to your heart's content. Personally, I use TCG Player and some Facebook groups, in which I will link down below. So give it a try anyway. I just can't give my humble opinion on it. Last but not least, in my Discord arsenal, there's going to be the Bakugan Wiki server. And it pretty much does the same job as any other server, but they give you updates about the actual Bakugan Wiki website, which I'll explain later. And they're also always looking for an extra hand to help. This community is building slowly but surely, and it's a wonderful thing to see a bunch of people come together and make something truly wonderful. So if you have expertise in how to web design, or you know, have know-how about graphics and all that, they'd love to have you. Now Twitter. I'm gonna double dip because a lot of these people have YouTube channels, and I can better explain what they do through their YouTube because Twitter can only provide so much information, right? Like YouTube is just straight up, I can do unboxings, I can do hunting, I can do all these sorts of things, whereas in Twitter I can just comment on a thing. So that's pretty much where we're at with that. So I'm going to go down the list in that regard. And since we're pretty much getting pressed for time, I'm going to kind of bullet these. I'm sorry if I don't give you your channels the credit they deserve. Is that fair? Just check these all out, use your own inference, and you'll be able to decide whether or not you vibe with these certain creators or not. I'm just giving you the best that I know. And of course, just like the Discords, just like anything, I will be missing some people. So please, I personally want more things to watch. So if you are a YouTuber, you have a Twitter, and you feel like you've been neglected and you want your name out there in the golden sun, please let me know. You'll be in the description. I'm a Vegetable One, makes generally cool Bakugan art. Here's one of Magnus in all of his kooky disguises that they did recently, so I check them out, follow them. It doesn't hurt. At Bakumaster M, or Bakumaster M Stubbs 88, mainly does unboxing videos, has some generally good conversation. A very cool guy in the Discord. Pretty much all of these YouTubers and Twitters are gonna be people that are constantly in the Discord. I wasn't kidding when there's a whole ass community down there. So seriously, anyone you find, I'm in there. A lot of the people I mentioned are going to be in there. So really, it's a very interactive and small community. It's just a pleasant experience. At Traveler Ventus, or Ventus Traveler, he's very prominent in the Discords and he's a very cool guy. So send him a little love from me. Right now on his YouTube channel, he's doing a parody of the web series that Bakugan first did at the beginning of Bakugan Battle Planet's run, and it kind of has a YouTube poop feel, if you guys were around for that. I can see the blood, sweat, and tears that has gone into the video, so really just give it a check out. Just look at it. Just look at it. At the Robo Sensei, or Bakumentary. Along with Latherna and Hunter Surge, he was one of the first people that really just got me psyched for the game. He's a great deck builder. Right now, his channel has mainly unboxing videos, but honestly, he's hyping me up. He's got some good stuff in the works. So, check him out. Be sure to give him attention and give him some love, okay? At Tallbunks24, or Toolbox24. Honestly, right now, he has a YouTube channel. He doesn't really do much with it. I wish he would, because he's in the Discords all the time, making me giggle and laugh, and I enjoy his company. So make a YouTube video! You're funny. I'd love to see you more often. At Hunter Surge, I already said a lot about him, but he does have his own YouTube channel. That's going to be the official Brawler Cafe YouTube channel. I'm sure it's shared, but I mainly see Hunter Surge on there, so prove me wrong. At Pyrus Queen, it's another channel to get your unboxing fix satisfied, but she also does have some genuinely creative videos that are rather fun to watch. It's just kind of like this thing. Isn't that cool? I have to mention this one. Look, the thing about the Bakugan community is we all came from somewhere, right? I came from Yu-Gi-Oh! Personally. A lot of people came from Pokemon, and that's okay. And this is another person that comes from Yu-Gi-Oh! Huge in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. Absolutely huge. Monstrous. However, he also happens to be the world champion of Bakugan at this standing moment. And the lack of excitement in my voice may be discerning to you. It's not because I don't like this person. It's not because I don't think he deserves it. It's because I wish he'd do some more Bakugan content. At least have like a second channel. He's a fun guy. He's awesome. He's funny. Like, he's generally a good guy. Like, there's some video where he was in the cage match and some kid lost to him. You know, in the cage matches, if you win against Simo, at Simo, by the way, if you didn't get it, well, you're new, so I don't know why I would assume. Anyway, there was a kid that lost to him in the cage match, in which that usually disqualifies you of any prizes. And all this kid wanted was a Diamond Pegatrix Ultra, I believe. And unfortunately, within Simo's power, he couldn't get it to him. But he did give him the limited edition Dragonoids. And I don't know, I just thought that was really cool. That was a really cool move. So, Simo, you're a good guy, but God, just make some content. I don't hate you. At Kimbo Slice, he's a Beyblade YouTuber, but he does dabble in some Darkus, so I give him mad respect for that. Like in GG, he's the owner of Brawler Cafe, so honestly, he started this whole mess. So, there's that. At Real Ghostlights, loser. But seriously though, follow him, because him and I, ooh boy, we got some spicy things cooking up for you. At Baku Nerds, they're a group of people that upload a variety of content, mainly brawls and unboxings, but in the majority of their videos, they have lo-fi playing, and I can appreciate the vibes. At username Feng, or Feng Shaman. You remember when I was talking about how people came from Pokemon, people came from Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically a bunch of different card games? Well, this gentleman came from Pokemon, and let me tell you, he's got some good quality content. Not just in Pokemon, but in Bakugan as well. And you can tell at first glance that he has an adoration for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. And for that, sir, I respect you wholeheartedly. Grovile Gang, Zeonic Blader, at Ali Akbar Khan 1. Sorry if I butchered that. He's a Canadian YouTuber that is holding it down when it comes to his locals. He hosts tournaments regularly and is constantly documented on the Brawler Cafe channel. I believe they're also posted on his. But for his channel, he does host this really interesting segment where it is how when every single faction has released for a single Bakugan, he compares and contrasts the competitive level of the certain faction. So say like the Pyrus Bakugan is leagues better than the Ventus Bakugan. He compares every single one, all 6. So it's very interesting to watch, and I am upset that I didn't think of it. At Negative Legend, big rep in the Bakugan community, but his claim to fame was originally other segments other than Bakugan. He does post Bakugan content regularly, but it seems like it's hurting his channel, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, I get it. So yeah, it could be another Simo situation where he could make a separate channel. I'd love to watch him there. He's a great personality. Same with Billiam. But nevertheless, great people. Check him out. RXXC, or at RaginXXX Cajun. He's a big, beautiful boy. RXXC, or at RaginXXX Cajun. He's one of the first YouTubers I discovered after developing my Bakugan fix, and quite frankly, he's been one of the biggest forerunners of the community ever since. He's an affiliate with Inked Gaming, which through them you can get a Matrix mat, which is usually one of the mats that you play Bakugan on, and it has like little Matrix cells. It looks really sick, and it kind of looks similar to the Bakugan mats that you see at events, but without breaking your bank. At Illinuk, pretty similar to Kimbo Slice, not in the fact that they're the same person, but at the fact that they're used to be Beyblade tubers. As I said, everyone comes from somewhere, but has been pushing that Bakugan agenda. Good guy, great guy. There's actually, speaking of the two, there's a Bakugan showdown on the next person's channel that I'm going to mention. Jet Kuso. He's one of the biggest YouTubers for Bakugan, quite frankly. He puts a lot of passion and production in each project he makes. When he uploads, it is a fantastic spectacle. I'm pretty jealous of the production quality. In fact, I bought a credit card just so I can get somewhat close. So big ups to you, Jet. I'm catching up. But seriously though, there is the Baku showdown between Illinuk and Kimbo Slice on there. And I gotta say this, Kimbo won, dude. Kimbo won. He didn't have to mill that last card, bro. He could have made it back. Shoulda, woulda, couldas, but I'm serious. Like, it, just saying, putting it out there. Just saying. So, these are the Twitters that you need to follow if you want to be up to date with literally the news. So, at Brawler Cafe, at Bakugan_wiki, and at Bakugan's Reddit. Yes. And, self-plug, here we go. You want to follow the best YouTube channel? Me. There's also some YouTubers that I neglected to mention, mainly because they do not have Twitters, or if they do, I am blissfully ignorant.
Now I know what you're thinking. Why the blur? Why is the camera quality all of a sudden really bad? Well, the thing is, and you're going to find this really funny, is that I totally left some people out, and I really wanted to give them a shout out, and I did it last minute, and now I have a haircut, so without breaking the fourth wall, all you need is the audio, so that's it.
One of them is going to be Haru Ren, host of the Baku Talk. It is a very concise and straight to the point news show that basically tells you what you need to know, when you need to know it. Pretty fast, pretty effective, very good guy. Then there's also Wonton, who's also active in the Discords a fair amount. He recently did a very good dissection of the competitive meta in the recent Anime Expo tournament. So be sure to check him out. He's great guy, great personality, both of them are. And then there's also Zemus, who recently did a podcast with Haru Ren, so worlds are colliding. It's almost like the first iteration of Bakugan. Worlds will collide on the inside, but only on the inside. Now, that's the Twitter, that's the Discord, that's some of the Facebook I touched on just now. There's one thing I gotta touch on before I disappear into the ether. Alright? And that's gonna be card catalogs. So I'm gonna discuss these in a further video, but if you need to know what certain cards do, or just the basic catalog of all the cards, there is the one on the Brawler Cafe, and I know I gave them my blessings and my rewards, but honestly, it's an Excel sheet, and if you're the simple type and that works just for you, that's great. I am myself a visual learner, and so I like to do the Bakugan Wiki. It is a very good source because they provide the pictures and they provide, I believe it's chronological order, so honestly, everything you want can be found there. It's going to be the catalog of all the cards, and it's going to be the different waves of Bakugan, like what Bakugan came out at a certain point of time, and what could possibly come out in the future. So, without further ado, you're pretty much all set. I'm just going to put my Twitter here. You already know my YouTube. And I also want to give a shout out to a channel that I am on with my best of friends. And honestly, we have a good time. We may not have the most consistent uploading schedule, but it's funny. It's funny. So Forbidden Squee, go ahead, check that out. Their Twitter too. I pretty much run the Twitter, so I'm working 2 jobs. I am quite the skilled individual. As you can tell, this outro is way less scripted than the rest of the video. I tried scripting for the first time today. Not a big fan of it, gonna be honest. I like ad-libbing because it puts less stress on it. I spent 50 minutes, maybe 60 minutes, whole ass hour trying to say the things that I wanted to say instead of just saying things off the top of my head. But honestly, that's just what you gotta do. If you want a video with a consistent and free-flowing, if you want a point, basically, I'm gonna leave you with one last sentimental message. You're gonna do great. You're gonna do wonderful things out there. We're all waiting for you. Be sure to drum up. It's a big world out there. Until next time, bad boys.